sound of crackling campfire and distant crickets. All right, picture this. Me, Leo, Maya, and Chloe, 4 best friends since forever, decided to go camping deep in the Blackwood Forest. It was supposed to be a classic weekend getaway. Marshmallows, cheap beer, ghost stories, the usual. We picked a spot miles from any road, a tiny clearing surrounded by a dense wall of ancient-looking trees. As the sun went down, the woods just changed. The friendly green turned into a menacing, inky black, and the silence got heavy. We were huddled around the campfire, its light pushing back the darkness just enough to make us feel safe. Leo, ever the skeptic, was trying to debunk my ghost story about the whispering woman of Blackwood. "It's just the wind, man," he'd say, poking the fire. But even he seemed a little on edge. The wind wasn't just whistling through the leaves. It sounded like whispers, faint, layered, just on the edge of hearing. We all heard it. We all pretended we didn't. Around midnight it started. A twig snapped loudly, right behind Maya's tent. We all froze, our eyes darting into the impenetrable darkness beyond the firelight. Leo grabbed the biggest flashlight we had, its beam cutting a nervous path through the trees. "Nothing, just an animal," he announced, but his voice was a little too high. A few minutes later, another sound, a soft, rhythmic thumping. Thump, thump, thump. It was coming from all around us, circling our camp. It was slow, deliberate. It didn't sound like any animal I'd ever heard. Chloe, who was already pale, grabbed my arm. "Did you hear that?" she whispered, her voice trembling. The thumping stopped. Silence. Then from the direction of Leo's tent, we heard a zipper. A slow, deliberate zip. Leo was sitting right next to us. His tent was supposed to be empty. Every horror movie instinct screamed at us to run, but we were paralyzed. Leo, trying to be the brave one, stood up. "Who's there?" he yelled, his voice cracking. The only reply was the whispery wind and the crackle of the fire. He took a hesitant step towards his tent. As he did, the thumping started again, but this time it was faster, closer. Thump, 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 thump. It felt like a giant, frantic heartbeat closing in. Suddenly, Maya screamed, pointing at the trees behind me. I spun around and my blood ran cold. For a split second, illuminated by a flicker from the campfire, I saw it. A figure. It was unnaturally tall and thin, its limbs long and twisted at impossible angles. It had no face, just a smooth, pale surface where features should have been. It was just standing there, watching. And that's when it all went insane. The thumping was right on top of us. The whispers turned into a cacophony of overlapping voices, and all our flashlights flickered and died at the same time, plunging us into near total darkness, save for the dying fire. We just screamed and scattered, running blindly into the woods. I don't know how long I ran for, I just ran. I eventually stumbled out onto a road as the sun was coming up. A car found me, dazed and scratched up. The police searched for days. They never found Leo, Maya, or Chloe. They never found our campsite, the tents, or any of our gear. It was like we were never there. The official report says my friends got lost in the woods. They say I was suffering from hypothermia and hallucinated the whole thing. But I know what I saw. And sometimes late at night, when the wind blows just right, I can still hear it. That soft rhythmic thumping, and I know it's still out there. The thing is, the police found my footprints leading out of the woods. But here's the part that keeps me awake at night, the part I never told them. They only found one set of footprints, mine. There were no prints from Leo, Maya, or Chloe. It was as if I'd gone into those woods completely alone.